Good morning, children. I welcome you all to the online class. So we start the second book, that is Statics for Economics. This is the second book of class 11 economics. So, children, in the very starting, I have explained you the syllabus of class 11th economics. Let me again revise it. Children, the entire syllabus of economics is classified into the two categories. Now the first part is your statics for economics in this book. Second is the introductory microeconomics, and the third is your project work, the part C. So we have already started a second book, that is introductory macroeconomics, in where we have completed our first two units, that is the introduction part, consumers equilibrium and demand. So up to this two units we have learned the 6 chapters successfully. Now let us start our first book, that is Statics for Economics, in which we are going to start our first unit, that is the introduction part. So the statics is again have a weightage of 40 marks in your examination, and the microeconomics also has the same weightage, that is 40 marks, and remaining 20 marks is there for the project work. So children, this first book of economics, that is Statics for Economics, in where we are going to learn the 13 chapters. The first chapters, as you all see in your slide, is concept of economics and significance of statics in economics. Thereafter is the chapter number 2, collection of data, census and method of collection of data, organization of data, presentation of data, and the textual as well as the tabular presentation. Thereafter the diagrammatic presentation of data, the bar diagrams and pie diagrams, and so on. These are the various chapters. You just see the slide in which it is showing you the content or the index of this book. So children, let us start with the first chapter, that is concept of economics and significance of statics in economics. So as our chapter name is the concept of economics, we are going to learn the basic concepts of economics in this chapter, and the significance, the importance of statics in your economics. So the topic what we are covering today is the first, introduction, thereafter origin of statics, meaning of statics, definition of statics, definition of statics in the plural sense, and features in terms of the numerical data, features of statics as a science, scope, function, uses, importance, limitations, distrust, remedies to remove distrust, and at last we are going to learn the conclusion basis of this chapter. So let us start our topic with the introduction part of economics. Children, we have already learned the basic concepts of economics. We have understood that the science of economics was taken birth with the publication of Adam Smith, an inquiry into the nature and causes of wealth of nation, in the year 1776, and Adam Smith is known as the father of economics. Now, as I just said, the study of economics was been starting from the year 1776. Now, if we are going to learn the definition of economics, then Alfred Marshall was a great propounder of modern economics, defines economics as the study of mankind and the ordinary business of life. So Alfred Marshall was a renowned economist who has given his definition that it is the study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. So the definition of economics can be understood as economics is the study of how people and the society choose to employ scarce resources so that they could have alternative uses in order to produce the various commodities that satisfy the wants and distribute them for the consumption among various persons and groups in society. So in economics we will learn basically how the society and the people choose to employ the scarce resources, how they are using the scarce resources for the production of various goods and services that would have the alternative uses in order to satisfy the human's wants and satisfy the human wants and to distribute them for the consumption among various persons and groups in society. So if we're talking about the statics means the numerical description to most people, and the purpose of the statics is to manipulate, summarize and investigate data so that the useful decisions can be created. I mean, we can make meaningful conclusions with the data. So statics is basically a set of decision making techniques which aid business in drawing inferences. So origin of study of statistics. Children, the term statistics has its origin in the Latin word status, Italian word statita, or German word statistic. So all the three terms means the political state. So in ancient period, children, the beginning of statics was made to meet only the administrative needs of the state. But in the modern time, and right now you just see the statics is not related with the administration of the state alone, but it has a close relation with almost all the activities of our lives which can be expressed in quantitative terms. So meaning of children, the term statistics has been generally used in two senses. The first one is plural senses and the second is the singular senses. So in the plural sense, the term statistics refers to the numerical data or the statistical data, but in singular sense, the term statistics refers to a science in which we deals with the techniques or the method for collecting, classifying, presenting, analyzing and interpreting the data. So when we're talking about the definition of statistics, the definition of statistics is being classified into two categories: a definition of statistics in singular sense and the definition of statistics in singular sense. Now, what is the definition of statistics in the plural sense? Children, statistics are the numerical statement of facts in any department of inquiry placed in relation to each other. So this is the definition given by the professor. And by statistics we mean the quantitative data affected to a market extent by multiplicity of the causes. This definition is given by Eugene Kendall. So there are some of the features of statistics in the plural sense. Aggregate of facts. In aggregates of facts, children, statistics is not only the aggregates of facts capable of offering some meaningful conclusions that constitute the statistics, but it is also to aggregate the facts which is capable of offering some meaningful conclusions. Now when we are conducting any statistical inquiry, then we have to be collecting the data, the various facts, and when we are summarizing all this facts, then it is called as the statistics in the plural sense. Second is the numerically expressed. Children, statistics are expressed in terms of the numbers. If suppose if the height of if any person like the Amitabh Bachchan is 6.2, it would have taken a statistical information. I mean, it is already, this information has already taken a statistical information, because here the measurement of the body of Amitabh Bachchan is already explaining. Next is affected by multiplicity of causes. So children, there are n number of causes that affects or that influence many factors simultaneously. Fourth one is reasonable accuracy. A reasonable degree of accuracy must be kept in view while collecting the statistical data, because when we are conducting any statistical inquiry, then the first step is to find out the facts or the collected data. Next is predefined purpose. Statistics are collected with some predefined objective. For example, like if you want to know the population of a country, then what we are going to do is we are going door to door to collect the information of the total number of people who are living in a country. So it is basically a predetermined purpose in which we are obviously conducting the inquiry. So when any statistical inquiry is being conducted, then the purpose is already predetermined. Next is enumerators or estimated. So statistics will be collected by the enumeration or they may be estimated, and it is collected by the enumerators. Now, what is the the features of statistics as a science? The first one is the collection of data. It is decided as to how, when, and where, and what kind of data are to be collected. This is the first feature of statistics as a science. Second is organization of data. The second step in statistical methods is to organize the data that collected. Third is presentation of data. To make the data intelligible, brief, and attractive, it is being presented in the form of tables, the diagram, and graphs. And analysis of data is to draw the meaningful conclusion, which is very necessary to analyze from the statistical investigations, because when we are going to do any investigations, the purpose is already predefined, and on behalf of the investigation we are making our own analysis, the conclusion basis of the statistical inquiry. So the scope of statistics. Now when we are going to learn the scope of statistics, we will learn into the scope of statistics in the three different categories. The first one is the nature, second is the subject matter, and third is the limitation. Now what are the functions? Now let us learn the functions of statistics. Children, the function of statistics can be expressed in the following different ways. The first one is expression of facts and numbers. So one of the principal functions of statistics is to express the facts relating to the different phenomena in numbers. I mean, whatever the facts has been occurred or whatever the events have been occurred. Now our intention or our first work is to express them in terms of numbers. And second function of statistics is the simple presentation. So data must be presented in the simple form so that it becomes easy to understand. This is also a function of statistics. When we are going to present any data, then it should be presented in such a way so that it is very easy to understand. Third, it compares facts. So another step is to compare the data relating to multiplicity of causes or the facts. So it helps the other science also. Many laws of economics, law of demand, law of supply have brief verified with the help of statistics. And the most important function of statistics is to help in forecasting. It helps in forecasting the changes in future with regard to a problem. Next, we are going to learn the uses and importance of statistics. So this statistics, this collection of data, and on behalf of collection of data, we are making classification, then we are presenting in a most useful way. Now this is called as statistics, and it is very important for administrators or for the administrations. And statistics for business or any industrialist in the field of business, industry or agriculture, it has the same importance. Like businessman is keeping the various records of the total sale, total purchase, total expenses, total revenue, total expenditure, total profit, total loss, which is very helpful for the businessman or for any industries in the field of business. It has its importance in economics also because, as I already explained you, economics is related with the real life. It is of a people. You will find economics in every field of a life. When you are going to consume various goods and services, when you are going into the market to buy the certain things, or even in every activity of your life, you are observing economics there. So the statistics is also very important in economics also because economics also is based on the numerical facts, and the facts is being supplied by the statistics. Importance for the politicians, important for the social reformer. It is very important in the field of the science and the research also because on behalf of the statistics they are making certain new inventions which is very helpful. They are making certain research which is very helpful for the growth and development of a country. It is very important in banking also because in the banking it has to be keep a systematic record of all the financial transactions happens day to day. So all the numerical data is being supplied by the statistics itself. Importance in the field of education. Statistics is also important in the field of education because we are became capable of you can say comparing the various trends, the various data from present to the past. Importance of statistics is very necessary for the administrations or for the administrators, like the finance minister makes use of the data relating to the revenue and expenditure while preparing the budget, and finance minister take decisions regarding imposition of new taxes, excluding subsidies or any expenditure which is related to the export and import of various goods and services, etc. And the importance of statistics is also there for the business or for industrialists, as I just said, or for the agriculturalists, because a successful business or any agriculturalist estimates demand or supply is being done on the basis of the past the trend, on the basis of the past numerical figures and values. So now let us learn about the limitations of statistics. Our first limitation is you can say the study of the numerical facts only. So children, statistics can be applied in studying only the problems which has been stated and expressed quantitatively. So children, in quantitative characteristics such as qualitative, you can say characteristics such as honesty, purity, welfare, beauty, health, etc. cannot be directly measured quantitatively. So therefore in statistics we are not going to learn the qualitative aspects of statistics, but we are going to learn the quantitative aspects in which all the various things that can be expressed in terms of numbers can be used. So as a result, the qualitative characteristics are not suitable for the statistical analysis. Study of aggregates. So children, statistics does not deals with individuals. Statistics deals only the aggregates of facts, and no importance is attached to the individual items. For example, the marks of one student of a class does not constitute to any statistics. But when when the average marks has been taken from the entire class, then it is called as statistics. So children, next is results are true only on an average. So statistics, I just said, is science. Science. You can say statistics as a science is not as accurate as many other sciences as many other sciences are. Basically, the natural sciences are extract as the results are universally true, and these results are properly verified, and therefore statistics laws are not extract. For example, if an average number of thefts in a town is 3 per week, it does not means that it does not means that 3 thefts has taken place on the first day of a week. There will be more theft, or there will be more theft in that week also. So what I'm going to say, when we're talking about the average, it does not results. The results are true only on an average. So can be used only by the expert. So children, the technical statistics are not simple to be used by any layperson. The techniques can only be used by the experts, as they are very complicated in nature. Next is only means and not a solution. And in children, it is very essential that the data must be uniform and has the only means, and it's not basically a solution. Whatever the statistical inquiry we are conducting, it has a meaningful meaning in its own. It is not related to with, or it not live with any kind of solution. So children, so now let us move on to the next topic, distrust of statistics. So children, the main cause of distrust is that most of the people believe statistics readily, but some selfish people make misuse of the statistical data. So distrust of statistics means lack of confidence in statistical method and statements. And the main causes of this mistrust of statistics are as under. The first is different kind of statistics are obtained in respect of a given problem, and statistics can be altered to prove predetermined conclusions. And despite of the services provided by the statistics, considerably distrust exists in the mind of the people with regards to its reliability and usefulness. And the reason of distrust is improper use of statistical tools by irresponsible, unexperienced, and dishonest people. Now, what are the various remedies that should be taken to remove this distrust? So, consideration of the statistical limitations while making use of statistics. Limitation of statistics must be taken care, and for instance, statistics should be homogeneous. Second is no base. There is no differences between. So the researcher or those who are conducting the statistical inquiry should be impartial. He is not doing partiality with anything. We should make use only for the proper data and draw conclusions without any base or prejudice. And the applications by the expert, like the statistical, should be used only by the expert. So in a very conclusion, I can say that to overcome the problem of distress, the following precautions can be taken into the various considerations. Now, first one is the limitation, as I just said. Statistics should be kept in mind, and second is only the expert should make use of the statistics. Data should be used after a careful inquiry, and a great care and caution should be exercised while using the statistics. So the user should be very impartial also while conducting the statistical inquiry. So children, on the very conclusion basis, we can say that statistics is a set of the decision making techniques which aids the business in drawing inferences from the available data, and the statistics is taken, as I just said, from the Latin word status. So in spite of the usefulness of the statistics on the confidence of the people in its efficiency, some people have misgivings about it, and they distrust it. So like a competent doctor can cure the malady by making good use of the medicines, but by the same medicines in the hand of an incompetent doctor becomes the poison. So what I'm going to say that the statistical information or the data will be meaningful when a person has a proper knowledge and he has a proper knowledge of how he can exercise this data, and the same will be like a poison for a person when an unskilled or inefficient a person is going to use the data. I mean, he can destroy the various investigations. So it should always be kept safe in hands if the people have a proper knowledge of using the data. So children, that's all for today, and in today's video we have learned first the introduction of the economics, therefore the introduction of statistics. I mean, what is singular statistics and plural statistics. Thereafter we have learned the scope, the limitations, the distrust, the functions of statistics. Now that's all for today, and in the next video we are going to learn the chapter and learn the next topics of this chapter. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.